Robin, we've all seen some extraordinary revenue and volume growth forecasts for M2M over the last few years, but M2M services haven't always achieved those forecasts. What do you put this down to?
Well, we've been studying the M2M market now for over a decade, and we used to do very big forecasts, but we learnt from experience that the market isn't moving that quickly. It is picking up, but it takes a while. There's a lot of things to get straight in the M2M market. You're connecting a lot of things, and they have to work. And it's not like a mass market at the moment. It's taking a while to get things organised. But we do see a time ahead where there will be big volumes implemented. And that's going to be a really exciting time, but we have to build towards that. We have to get the infrastructure straight, and we have to get the mood music almost straight to make it all work properly. Yeah.
I think it's also going to be very interesting to see what Telit and Uzi Katz have to say about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Uzi, in some markets 2G is no longer being supported and M2M services are adopting 3G or even 4G connectivity. What does this mean in reality?
It means some migration or faster migration into 3G. 4G is still in front of us in machine-to-machine communications. Please consider that more serious, I would say, deployment of 3G is happening this year, 2012, where serious introduction of 3G on the handset side was done probably in 2002, 2003, so 10 years later. I don't think we're going to see same latency on LTE, but definitely we will not see deployment of LTE in 2012 and very, very limited in 2013.
Robin, there's clearly a lot to think about in that. What's your view on this?
Well, it's a bit regional. So in the North American market, there is a spectrum issue which causes some of the operators to move from 2G to 3G, and that has an impact then on the M2M market as well. It's not quite so astonishing though in the European market. So the European market, there's much more 2G and 2G continuity. But it does mean that we are in a situation where we are in transit between 2G, 3G to 4G, and that does introduce complications for the market players.
Telit has followed a strong policy of acquisitions lately. Can you talk us through this, Uzi?
In 2011, we have done 3 acquisitions. We started with a complete horizontal one, which is Motorola. We've bought their M2M division. To the vast majority was located in Israel, with sales in APAC and mainly in the United States. That was a very, very smooth acquisition. Actually, from an operational point of view, was a very complex one, although we knew in advance exactly what we are buying. The second one was Global Connect in the middle of 2011. And that acquisition was in order for us to be better positioned to build our value-added services and connectivity business. We are currently managing just about 100,000 SIM cards, and there is quite significant array of value-added services that being built, and I believe that in a meaningful way those services will be launched in January 1st, 2013. At the end of the year, we bought Navman GPS and combined it with the Telit offering, and this is a good line extension of our product portfolio. Navman was located, still are, located in Orange County, California. It's a small group of people, ex-Rockwell engineers, that provided us with cutting-edge GPS technology. So it seems like we are going to be able to double this year sales of Navman of last year and triple and more next year. So I would say 3 acquisitions, all of them very successful, well integrated, and at this point we are pretty much happily ever after.
Robin, what's your view of the key factors of success in this market now?
Well, the important thing is that the M2M business is all about services, and the more that you can get into the service area, the better, because that's where actually the profits are. So Telit is moving from a hardware position to a hardware plus service position, and service is all about where M2M is going. So it's important that they do that. But of course it's important also that they take into account the need for partnerships, because you can't develop these solutions entirely on your own. And that's a characteristic of the M2M market. It's the ecosystem and working closely with partners for mutual benefit.
And Uzi, how important has your partnership been with Telefonica?
One needs to understand the overall cost of ownership in the M2M market. We are providing the hardware and software for the communication piece that is integrated in all those different solutions. That on average costs to a customer around $25, while these customers will be using value-added services that would cost him probably $1 per month per device, an additional $4 to $5 per month for connectivity that he will be paying. So if you run those numbers on a 60-month basis, 5 years, you would find out that the overall cost of the hardware and software we provide is only a small fraction of the overall cost of ownership. Moreover, the overall cost of ownership not only needs to go down, it's also the complexity of achieving it needs to be managed in a better way. The agreement with Telefonica is enabling Telit actually to provide our customers with a package of value-added services and connectivity. Services that including remote network management and diagnostics and firmware over-the-air upgrade and much more. We work and will continue to work with all the partners in the world. We have a straightforward strategy that we never compete with our customers, and therefore this is actually coming to complete the ecosystem that is much needed on the value added, and the connectivity with the corporations of the MNOs, and the first one that has been signed was Telefonica, and we are actually looking into significant growth on the side of recurrent revenues starting 2013 and beyond, and we should be looking forward to see.
Finally, Robin, what do you think will be the most important factors affecting the M2M market in 2012 and 2013?
Well, that's a very big question, and there's a lot going on in the marketplace. It's a hugely complex market, so you almost have to do it on a regional basis. We've got the market moving much more towards services and the development of new services generally. That's going to have a big impact on the marketplace. Then there's regulations that are coming along. There's talk now of the EU getting involved in regulations for the Internet of Things. I'm not sure whether that'll happen or not, but it's certainly an issue there. There's a lot going on standards as well, so development of service layer standards and other standards. It's difficult to say that there's just one idea that is going to have a big impact, because it all has a big impact on the marketplace.
And Uzi, what do you think will be the most important factors?
Well, I think we will see a significant deployment that we haven't seen in the last couple of years on 3G, which will significantly affect and increase the average sales price, and therefore may take the market into a certain quantum leap from a growth point of view. Other than that, I agree completely with Robin. I would just say that traditionally we couldn't see more than 10% CAGR growth for the market altogether. For the reasons we've mentioned earlier of supply chain, it is too complex, and total cost of ownership, which is too expensive, by far mainly to the connectivity and the value-added services, where hardware already been decreased significantly to levels that any company can actually capitalize currently on machine-to-machine communication to enhance their business offering. So I think with the fact that Telit is moving now into the value-added services and connectivity packages to our customers, which simplifies their life, we are going to continue to show, as before, just about 3 times the market growth, i.e. 30% per year growth CAGR, as we've seen previously, and that's looking forward. And potentially with the simplification of the supply chain management, we can even see and expect more than that in 2014 and 15 beyond.